Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another solo overnighter in the backcountry, this time with a brand new tent. So this is a new tent that I just received. I've set it up a number of times at home, and so far it looks good. But instead of doing my testing where the season is kind of running short, we're getting closer to the end of summer and we're going to be in cold, hot tenting season that time of year. So I'm running short on testing time, so I figured tonight I'll bring a new tent and I'll be testing it and filming an overnighter. So this is a unique way for me to share this experience with you guys, and hopefully everything goes well. Now, it is very windy out. It is sunny, but there is a large storm approaching sometime tomorrow and possibly even later on this evening. So hopefully we'll get some bad weather. If not, I'm sure I'm still going to enjoy my time out here. I do have my cooking gear and all my sleeping gear. Everything is all set up. So I think right now I'm going to get these stumps arranged in such a way that I can make up a coffee and sit down and relax just for a little bit after the hike in. right, guys, coffee's made up, and 2 thumbs up on that. Definitely very good today. The temperatures today, I probably should mention, are 16 degrees Celsius daytime. Nighttime is forecasted to actually go down between 8 and 10 degrees Celsius. So that is a very comfortable temperature for this guy right here. So I want to explain what I've got going on here for cooking, because this is a little bit different from last time when I used my alcohol stove here on the channel. And basically what I've got going on, I've got my 750 ml titanium French press and my 450 titanium cup. So that's pretty standard now on the channel. I like bringing these 2 pieces of gear because they work really well together. The newest piece is this steel twig stove that I purchased on Amazon. This cost me $24 Canadian, and I don't recall the brand name. There wasn't really a brand on it. There's nothing marked on it, nothing on the bag, but there are so many companies that rebrand exactly this product that you'll be able to find it on Amazon no problem. So it is stainless steel. It has this top piece, it has a burn piece, and it has an ashtray and then a stand. What I've done is I've actually put my alcohol stove down inside of it. So this is kind of like a Trangia stove, but not really. The pot still goes on top, where the Trangia, it would sit down inside. The reason why I got this is 2 reasons. One, I can use wood inside of this as it is a twig stove, and it works extremely well. It burns very efficiently. These pot stands hold my kettle, they hold my pot. They can even turn inwards to fit a 400 or a 300 ml titanium cup, so you can actually have it standing on those little pedestals. And like I said, I can use twigs on here, or I can use alcohol. Now what this means for me is, on a windy day like today, I just simply drop my alcohol stove inside of there, put the top cap on, and it will not go out at all. It can blow wind as hard as it wants. This will still burning, and it is extremely efficient. With this pot on top of there, all of the heat pounds into the bottom of the pot or the pan or whatever I've got on top of here, and it works extremely well. So last time, I believe I mentioned I used 500 milliliters of water and 1 ounce of methyl hydrate fuel. Now it only takes 1 ounce for 500 ml. It took about 10 minutes to boil last time. Now it takes about 6 minutes to boil with the same outside temperature. So this is way more efficient, and it works really, really well. So I just want to touch on that because I know I'm going to get asked, what is this? It is a twig stove with a Boundless Voyage titanium alcohol stove just dropped inside of there. So update on the weather. It is very windy out right now. All the sunshine is gone, and the sky is total gray out. I think we're going to get rain tonight, and I got my fingers crossed that it just starts getting really windy, rainy. I'm looking for a storm. So I do have to cook my my food over the fire. So that is something that I do need to do, which is what I'm going to take care of right now, is firewood. So I'm going to finish up my coffee, grab my saw, collect some firewood, cut that up, get it ready, and then hopefully it will hold off with the rain until I'm done cooking. If not, I'll just cook in the rain. Okay guys, the sunshine is back out again, so the sky is still cloudy, but there are spots of blue sky, so hopefully that changes later on and we do get some rain. Bring you guys up to speed on what's going on right now. So I've got the fire ready to go, I've got all the firewood prepped, and I'm just getting ready to assemble my camp grill, and I'm going to have that ready for supper. So once I get the fire going, which will not be too much longer from now, probably in about an hour, I'll let that burn down initially and then add some more to get some good hot coals. I'll be able to put my grill in the fire pit over top and start cooking supper. And I have a very interesting meal tonight. I'm actually really hungry right now, and even thinking about it is making me want to start cooking. So I'm going to hold off for a little longer, but I am going to get this ready now. That way when the time comes, I don't have to fiddle with anything. It'll all be ready and set up, and then I can just start cooking right away. So get this grill put together. Alright guys, so I'm inside of the tent right now, and I think what I'm going to do is one of my classic afternoon naps. I'm not actually going to go to sleep, but I'm going to lay down and just relax for a little while. Everything outside's taken care of, firewood's cut and split, the grill's together, everything's ready to go for cooking. And I should mention my cooking food is meat. It was frozen when I left this morning from home. It is wrapped up in all of my clothing inside of the backpack. I just peeked on it. It is still very cold, so there's no worries of it spoiling. So I'm not in a hurry to cook it right now. I'm just gonna wait till a little later on and cook when it's a little bit cooler and the sun starts to set. So while I'm in here and we have all this beautiful sunlight, I'm gonna explain my sleep system to you guys. I am sitting on top of a Deer for Me sleeping pad. This is a non-insulated inflatable pad. I do have a video out. It's called Budget Pads versus Pro Pads. I show this sleeping pad in that video. It is a great summer pad. It is very wide, it's rectangular, awesome pad. It's very lightweight and packable. So this is what I wanted to bring because the tent itself is a heavy tent. So I wanted to save weight where I could, and this is where I could save weight. It is very comfortable though. For my top blanket, or my top quilt I should say, is literally a top quilt. So this is from Featherstone. This is the Moon Dance. I will also have a full review on this as well. I'm going to be using this as a blanket tonight. So right now it is top quilt mode. I got it zipped up with a foot box. I'm going to unzip that and basically use it as a big puffy blanket because it is supposed to get cold tonight. Blaze orange on the inside, nice gray on the outside, 850 filled down. So like I said, I'll have a review on this in the future. But so far the tent, for size comparison guys, look at this. I can sit down with my legs straight out and my arms up, and I've got all kinds of room inside of here. So this is a two-person tent, but for one person, this is absolutely incredible. I could definitely see myself inside of here in a snowstorm. It's got two half-moon windows down here, which are mesh enclosures, so you can zip it up. And I'm going to be leaving them open, obviously, where it is still a little bit warmer. But even in a heavy snowfall, you would want to leave these open on the inner tent just to let in some ventilation so there's no condensation. It is a double wall tent, so that's typically not going to be a problem. But up top, there is a lot of ventilation as well, even a gear loft up here for clothing and whatnot. So I'll be able to hang my light from there later on tonight, put my battery bank up top as opposed to down here with the wire dangling down. So that's really handy. And I will let you guys know definitely in the morning or tomorrow at some point how I feel about the tent so far. Keep in mind, this is not a review. This is just me out camping, doing what I normally do off camera, but this time I wanted to bring you guys along with me to do it because I'm crunched for time as the seasons are changing. So we're going to be doing testing and camping at the same time. So that is all that I have to kind of share inside of the tent. I am now going to take probably an hour and a half to myself. Relax, shut the camera off, and I will catch up with you guys at supper time. See you at supper time, guys. All right, so I've got the campfire going right now, and I just want to mention two things. One, I'm only going to be burning hardwood today, and that's just basically to help with the spitting of embers and sparks. I don't need a fire that big. I just want coals right now to put the grill over top of to start cooking. And the second reason is exactly that, for sparks. So you'll notice the tent is right probably about 6 feet away. In my opinion, that is way too close. Normally, I would like to see about 20 feet with a big campfire of distance between a tarp or a tent. Today, I'm going to be watching this extremely closely because I don't want any embers popping and melting holes in my tent. The tent won't catch on fire, but I just don't want any melted holes in it. So I'm going to be watching this very carefully. Hopefully this initial flare up will go down quick and we'll be left with some really good coal bed to start cooking. I've got the grill already assembled, so once that's good to go, I'm just going to set this in there with my gloves, don't burn my hands, and start on supper. So I'm just going to explain real quick before I actually start. Supper is going to be really good. So I brought some really thick cut bacon. It's all wrapped up in my clothing right now. It's still cold. I'm going to lay that out on the grill, put some pepper on top, a little bit of spices, and let that cook nice and slow. I brought tortilla wraps, I brought some hummus, I brought some spinach, I brought a whole bunch of stuff. So basically, I'm going to do bacon wraps, and I'm hoping this is going to be very good. So let's let this burn down a little bit into our coal base, get the grill on there, get that bacon sizzling, and hopefully supper will come together very quickly. All right, supper is all done, and it was absolutely awesome. That thick cut bacon with pepper and a little bit of curry, that was great. So I've got the grill back over the fire now. I'm burning off all the food and bacon scent and kind of grease and whatnot. Once that's clean, I'll take it out, cool it down, pack it away in my backpack, so I won't be needing that for the rest of the trip. Supper was really good, man. I'm telling you, again, I put on red onion, green onion, spinach. I bought a little singles of hummus, garlic hummus, and I think that was it, and the bacon, and oh my goodness. That was really, really good. I had 2 of those, and I'm stuffed. I got some more snacks later on that I'll have throughout the night. And once I get kind of cleaned up and everything organized, then I'll be more in relax mode once I'm in there watching my movie. So for now, I'm just going to continue getting tidied up. I just got to get my roll put away. Got to get that grill sorted. And I may even go take a walk down on the edge of the lake just for a few moments while that's burning off. And hopefully nightfall will be here soon and we'll enjoy some nice cool air because the temperature is coming down. There are still clouds all over the sky. I'm still fingers crossed for that rain. Fingers crossed. But that's the plan. I'm just going to let this do its thing, maybe have a walk, and hopefully it'll be dark shortly. All right, so I've got a casualty shoelace. I just blew out the outer casing on my shoelace and I've got this rainbow type thing going on I'm not really vibing with, so I got to replace a shoelace. Luckily, I have extra cordage with me. I usually bring 1 or 2 extra guy lines, and I happen to have some Coyote Tan guy lines here. So I'm just going to sacrifice these. I'm going to take the adjusters off and save them for another project or whatever. So take those tensioners off, and I'm just going to relace both of my shoes, chilling out right here inside of the tent. We've got an awesome cool breeze rolling straight in off of the lake. Very, very nice. I'm probably actually going to leave one of these doors open all night. I think what I might do is close this outer door on that side because the lake is over there. And if it does rain, it won't blow rain in. And then I'll take all my gear and shove it over that side in the vestibule and leave this door maybe half open. And then for the tent door, I've got the mesh panel here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut the solid panel just in case rain does blow in. Just this way it should introduce a little bit of airflow in here. We'll see what happens, but for now, I've got to get the shoelace fixed and then I want to hang out by the fire. So I'm just gonna chill out here for a minute, get this job done, and carry on with the evening. All right, guys, inside of the tent right now, and I've got some geese flying over the lake. If you guys listen, you might be able to pick them up. Quite far out there, kind of difficult to hear. So there are some geese flying over the lake. I do have the campfire still crackling just a little bit, and it is very, very spacious in this tent. Right away, getting in here and zipping the front door shut, I can already tell I'm going to like the size and the fit of this come wintertime, or even being stuck in here in the rain. That vestibule area, it's low cut with the angles, but it's large and spacious in the footprint, so I think it'll work out really well. But right now, I'm going to be getting changed into my sleep clothing. So I do got pajama pants and pajama shirts. I'm gonna get all this outer clothing off and get comfortable, and I think I'm just gonna start on my movie. So I'm gonna say goodnight to you guys now, and I'll catch up with you guys first thing in the morning for coffee right away, and hopefully it's a cold and wet morning. We will see. If anything happens tonight, I'll definitely bring you guys back. Until then, catch you guys in the morning. Good night, guys. Good morning, guys. It is a wet, cold, rainy morning this morning, just the way I like them. So, looking out the tent door, it is raining quite heavy right now. Earlier this morning when I started on my coffee, it was just a light drizzle, and I think it's gonna rain all day today, which is awesome. Totally fine with that. So, I've got my coffee on the go right now. I just had the alcohol burner burning inside the vestibule, which worked out really well. And I didn't get wet at all sitting inside of here cooking, so that was pretty awesome. For breakfast, which I'm going to start as soon as I'm done my coffee, I have 2 packs of apple cinnamon oatmeal. I then have granola. So this is peanut butter granola cereal. So this is meant for like cereal at home with milk. And I've been doing this a lot lately, just taking about a 1/4 cup, so it's probably about half the bag, and mixing it in with 2 packs of apple cinnamon oatmeal. It is absolutely incredible. I just did it one morning just to thicken it up because I accidentally put too much water in it. And this is just my go-to now. I'll put it to you that way. It's basically hot cereal, but with the granola, it adds a little bit of a crunch and texture to the oatmeal. Very, very good combination. And then I also brought a apple cinnamon raisin bread with me. So I just got one of those in the package there. So I'll be eating that in just a moment once I finish my coffee, because I still have probably another cup of coffee in my pot, and that's the only pot that I have. So I got to finish my coffee before I cook my oatmeal and then eat that. So all in all, this is pretty awesome though. We got some really good rainfall. The forest is still green. I can see the raindrops just bouncing off all the leaves. And just listen to it. Just listen for a second. Who doesn't like that sound inside of a tent, right? So this is what I slept to. It was just drizzling last night, a little bit in the morning, but now it's actually full legit raining. And I gotta say, I'm definitely liking this. So I'm gonna enjoy my coffee, start on my breakfast, and then eventually work my way outside of the tent. Alright guys, well, breakfast is all done, coffee is just about done, I have a tiny bit left, and the rain is still coming down pretty constant, as you guys can hear. So I zipped this door panel shut just to keep some of that splashing water from coming in, and I want to keep the ground dry because what I'm going to be doing is packing up inside of the tent today. I'm not going to go outside, where I'm actually lucky to have a removable inner tent. So this is something I like to do, is bring these style tents. This entire inner is removable. So that means I could take everything, my sleeping pad, my top quilt, all my cooking gear, and I could pack up right here inside of the tent. And then once all that stuff is in the backpack, I can then move into the vestibule and I can start taking down the entire inner tent, get that packed away in my backpack, have everything done before I even step outside of the door. And then once I get outside, I can quickly take down the outer tent, give it a good shake off of all the water, cram it in the backpack, and off I go. Another thing I want to mention is I don't bring rain gear. I don't bring a rain jacket. I don't bring a poncho. I don't bring any of that silly stuff. My personal opinion, if nature's getting wet, I'm going to get wet. It's only fair. It's part of the experience and makes it enjoyable. And I was born and raised on Vancouver Island, so I'm not afraid of rainfall. This is definitely not going to deter me or bother me in any way. So that's my personal take on it. I'm just mentioning that because I know I'm going to get asked, hey, where's your rain jacket? I don't bring one. I never bring one. So we are going to get wet today, which is totally fine. It's raining. Everything gets wet when it rains. So I'm going to get everything packed up. I'm going to slowly pick away at my sleeping gear inside of the tent, get all that packed away, cooking gear, get that all in, and then take down the inner and move outside and get wet. All right, guys, that is one wet, messy tent. That is completely covered in pine duff from the ground, and it weighs probably 2 pounds heavier. So let's get this crammed in the backpack. Worry about it when we get home. This is definitely awesome. I love the rain and the snow. I love camping in weather, so this is not a factor to me ever. It can be cold, it can be wet, it can be snowy. The only thing that bothers me is summer heat. I don't like the heat, and I really don't care for the sunshine either. So this is my kind of element. So everything is packed in there. We'll get the lid on the pack. Get that strapped in there. I do have all my tent pegs I'm going to place on the outside because the stuff sack is somewheres in the backpack and I'm not looking for it right now. But that's everything packed up. There's a very large dry spot on the ground behind me. However, there is a big puddle that went underneath of the tent. Everything stayed dry inside of the tent, no leaks at all, and it rained pretty good, so no leaks, very happy with that. No condensation either until I started cooking inside of the tent. Of course, that generated a fair bit of condensation. But all in all, this trip was awesome. Now I've got to get the backpack on and start the wet, nasty hike out of here. Through the bushes, I'm going to be totally soaked, but that's part of the fun, guys. So thank you very much for joining me. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer them for you. Until next time, peace out, guys. I'll see you in the next video.